what it says in the manual versus what you're really getting, what a woofer can handle. We're going to test it. We're going to talk all about it tonight, so make sure you guys hang out. But of course, we got to kick off the intro. Thank you, Randy G. Thank you, Dubby. Thank you, everybody that's been tuning in from the beginning, waiting for the show to start. And without further ado, let's kick it off.
Okay. So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We livin' loud.
Thank you, William. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It is Tuesday, and we got some stuff to talk about. Just, I love testing stuff on this show because, I always watch big YouTubers, and it's like I like to see stuff that people like to see and learn something at the same time. We all love, shorts and whatever, but to sit back and watch a video and take something away from it is priceless. And I mean, it's technically free. The giveaway is free. To watch me is free. So thank you guys that do, and appreciate the ones that do support in the background. You guys are awesome. But today is Tuesday. We're going to have fun. And of course, we got everything set up on the other side of the studio. We got a CXA 800.1 over there. Of course, the kicker clock, so we know what time it is. And yeah, by the way, do not forget to enter the giveaway at kicker.com/umweekly. But, I feel like this topic has been talked about so many times, and you can get down some serious rabbit holes. But whenever I first got into car audio, I thought, I have a 2,000 watt amp. I'm going to get all 2,000 watts out of it. Well, we're going to test it tonight. We got a CXA 800.1, 800 watts rated, but we've seen 1,000 on a few amp dynos. But how much power are you actually getting out of that thing? And, of course, we're going to run it on a Kicker Comp Q. Why not? But I appreciate you guys tuning in. 37 of you guys, make sure you enter the giveaway. The ones that are on Facebook there, we got 4 on Facebook. Share this out so other people can get a chance to win the 50% off discount code. I wish there was a way that we can get some more entries for sharing on Facebook. Ernie, Colin, one of the two. We got to get that going on Gleam. That would be great. And, more people to see the content, the better. But I appreciate you guys so much. Cracker, thank you for tuning in. This guy knows it's rigged. And what better day than today? It's Tuesday. Appreciate you guys for always coming back, tuning in. And thank you for being here, Kyle. John, hello. Thank you for being here. Miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. There's always the write-ins, and I wasn't looking, but I might have to take a look to see if anyone put in LLWA or, Cookie Monster, something like that. But thank you for being here, Dubby. Thank you for being here, Uncle Bobby B. Would you look at that? Bobby B, baby.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Bobby B, I don't think his attendance record is better than my credit score percentage of payment times on history, all that fun stuff. It's higher than 99%. Appreciate you, man. And all you guys that are always tuning in, love you. And thank you for joining me this Tuesday night, man. You guys are awesome. Eco Outdoors, what is going on? Appreciate you tuning in. And, this is going to be an awesome show. I'm excited. I know there's a lot going on tonight, but still, it's like we can't miss a Tuesday. And I know you guys want to win some awesome kicker gear. And, heck, here we are. Car audio. Some people need the escape. Talk about the ads. Too many. Too many. SJC, thank you for being here, man. Hello to my bros in the 10.9, 14.4, and green team. And best of all, Andy. Thank you, SJC, for being here. Appreciate you so much. The computer's running flawless, and I appreciate all your help over the years just to make this show, just all the gears click together, man. Thank you for being here. Eric, Nima, thank you for liking the stream on Facebook. That's what's cool. On Facebook, it actually tells you if you share the stream and like it. You get that. So appreciate you guys. Did you say 20% off? Travis, thank you for tuning in, man. I try to answer all the comments on Facebook, YouTube. There's just a lot on YouTube, so sometimes the Facebook ones get lost. 50% off. Anything at kicker.com. One-time use, good for life. It's like the Wonka just golden ticket, man. And let me tell you, even the t-shirts, half off, stock up. And Warhorse? Absolutely. Appreciate you for tuning in, Travis. And make sure you enter kicker.com/UMweekly. I'm going to drop the link. Even though it's pinned, just for the people that are on Facebook, sometimes it doesn't do that right away. That should push it out to Facebook. Let me know if it didn't. Yeah, it did. Perfect. Would you look at that? And, I'm just glad all the cylinders are firing other than the this one right here. Would totally rather watch Andy than what's on TV, Absolutely, man. I know it's like you get enough. All right, let me know who won at the end of the day, and that's good enough for me. But appreciate everybody that's here tonight and hanging out with me. And hey, you know what? Get away. It's Tuesday. I like that, John. I like that. Eco Outdoors still on the quest for L7s for me. New Super Duty Crew Cab with the 50% off discount. Just think about it. You can get twice the amount of woofers that you were originally going to buy for the same price. That is amazing. I'm telling you, it adds up. It adds up. And it's the best feeling to be able to just give those out to you guys for tuning in. Like this all started from Unmasked, pulling back, the accelerator. Like, hey, Andy, you want to do every other Tuesday? Absolutely. And then 50% off discount codes just kind of slid right in there just for you guys tuning in specifically to this Livin Loud with Andy YouTube channel. Love you guys so much. BT, thank you for getting the kicker going with the $5 super chat, aka 5 gifted memberships. And you know what I'm going to say.
Well, would you look at that? Oh my gosh. Just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Do you ever go in public and just start going like this? Oh, would you look at that? You just find yourself doing that sometimes. And appreciate you so much, BT. Thank you for the donations and appreciate you for all the gifted memberships. And the green team, man, it is an awesome thing. Thank you, BT. BT, DIY audio guy. Thank you for tuning in, man. What is going on tonight? Well, tonight we actually have something pretty cool going on where we have a demonstration I'm going to show with an amplifier dyno versus what you're actually going to see when you're wired up to a woofer. You know, there's a lot of people that just think, you know, okay, I'm going to get so much power out of this because that's what I paid for. We're going to test it, and I'm going to kind of put it through the, you know, through the ringer and see what we can get out of that amplifier, and are we going to get all 800 watts? You know, and it's just something, I know it's simple. A lot of you guys are going to already know this stuff, but there's other people that don't comment, and they just watch, and they want to learn, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to have fun, talk about car audio, man. Thank you for being here, man. Tuesday, you just got to look at it. Dude, I'm not looking at Saturn. I will tell you that. I am not looking at it. All right, cool. So, Garrick, I'm just kind of doing the housekeeping and then waiting for everybody to take their seats, get their twisted tea, and get into the giveaway, and then I'm going to start the show of actually doing the demonstration. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Chris Raddick, for liking the stream on Facebook. I wish that would do that for YouTube, man. It would never stop. You guys all smash the like. Thank you so much. Garrick, Andy, the wife wants quality time with me. We are going out to eat. It's okay, Garrick. Just make sure you enter the giveaway because I know you're here every other Tuesday and on Kicker Unmasked. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your dinner, and I'll let you know if you want or not. Appreciate you, man. DIY, the makers, Mark Guy, Shifty %. That's about it, CM. That is about it. All right, cool. Can Boxer Eyes go negative? Oh man, that's a good one. I don't know about that one. That's a rabbit hole, but I know that eventually I'm gonna understand it even more with how this stuff works, and we're gonna kind of demonstrate why how that happens. Not so much why, but I feel like negative. Yeah, probably not, since you're starting at a certain resistance, and if you're gonna be adding power or anything, you can't really remove matter. You know, you're kind of stuck with what you got. With just I don't know. That's a trick question, Randy, but thank you, man. I appreciate you. You know, I love those questions. It's like, I don't know. You got my head scratching. Power factor, impedance rise, real power is much more complicated. You know, power factors, I feel like that is a thing, but when you have a good amplifier, it's not as pronounced. That's a thing too. If you ever do amp dynos with the SPL lab, you will actually see a different power factor with better amplifiers. It's kind of crazy. And that's not even the efficiency. You know, whenever you do a resistive load test, it's 100%. There is no power factor involved. But when you're doing a reactive load, aka your speakers, that's when power factor becomes a factor. Appreciate you, man. Resistance is futile, and that's the bottom line, Dubby. That is the bottom line. Okay, cool. All right, now I feel like everybody is here. We got 50 of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Still 4 on Facebook. Come on, guys. You got to share the thing. Just take a look at it. But I appreciate you hanging out with me on YouTube and just tuning in. Let's get this show rolling. Okay, now, let me pull this up so I can make sure everything's good. We don't want to be doubling here. I'm sorry I do this extra stuff, but you know what? You just got to have a rhythm. You got to have a rhythm. Okay, cool. Facebook, I don't know why that just popped up there, but let's pull this up. Okay, cool. Just bear with me for 1 second here. Okay. Man, that's loud, bro. Okay. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, cool. I'm going to pull that down there. And I feel like this needs to be just a little bit. There we go. Cool. Adam, thank you for liking the stream on Facebook. You guys are awesome. 50 of you guys. Love you. How about them Fantasy Force? You know what? I'm done. Clipping Kickers has been clipped to death on fantasy football. There's always next year. There's always next year. Okay. Thank you, El Fuego. He's not letting me go over there just quite yet with a $10 super chat. And, man, appreciate you, man. I really do.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor?
I know he was probably going to be asking for the $10 Friday clip. That's why I took a second look at it. But thank you so much, man. The green team is making my next build possible. Special thanks to Cornut, Baba, Bobby B, Stu, Brian, and the rest of the crew. A 50% off kicker code would go a long way towards my dreams. You know what, El Fuego? I mean, they don't call it rig for nothing, you know, and I would be happy to be able to get you a 50% off discount code if it was in my power, but it's kind of up to the universal gods to give you that. And we'll see if you win tonight, El Fuego. Appreciate you so much for all that you do. And just the collective of guys in the card audio industry, we just happen to call them the green team here. They are awesome, and so are you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for the support, sir. Yes, trigonometry is easy. Thank you, El Fuego. Okay, cool. So I do need just a few things. I need my handy dandy iPhone, handy dandy water, and then I need my handy dandy remote. So what we're going to do, I'm going to miss that kicker just flexing, man. I love that. Every time you guys donate, the ones that are new watching, that thing starts flexing. Thank you, Ryan Wilson, for subscribing. You know what? I think he just took a look at it.
Would you look at that? Another freaking, what, a solo barrack?
Another freaking subscriber. Thank you, Ryan Wilson. Appreciate you, man. And that is awesome. Whoever wins the 50% off discount code just set up a group buy. I don't know what you're talking about, Mark. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the other side of the studio here. And yeah, of course, Larry is still hanging out with us over here. It's kind of hard to get rid of him. He's such a cool guy, man, and he loves the lows. But let's move over here. And what I need to do is a few things. Make sure I got everything, because I like to get ahead of myself on all this stuff here. We'll turn the voltage on here just so we have a little clear readout. Usually the SPL Lab does have extra stuff with the voltage, but I figured this is just a little bit easier for what we're doing. That's the wrong mouse. Too many mice around here. We're going to pull that down. Again, thank you, El Fuego. And, all right, cool. So we got cameras there. We're good. I do need to put on the light for over here so that you guys can see the woofer flexing, because who doesn't like to see a woofer flexing? And we need to turn the brightness down just a little bit. There we go. And I will pull it over here so you guys can see everything as we're doing it, with the difference between the actual amp dyno and the real power of what you're going to see when you're playing your system. All right, cool. Let me pull this up here. Now, what we're going to do first is I have a few things hooked up here. And of course, we got a rubber ducky. I mean, if you've ever been to the Atherton, you know. We got the Atherton ducky. It helps to keep the amperize down sometimes. I don't know if you know about that. That's a thing. Nope, just kidding. I'm going to be like, yeah, I got to amperize, man. Oh, Aaliyah put my seat all the way down. We need this. Okay. So, over here, I have two things set up. One, it's connected to the amp dyno, but we got switchers on there. And on the other side, we have it hooked up to the subwoofer, of course. So what we're going to do first is do the amp dyno portion, but I'm not going to do every single one because this amplifier has been dynoed to death. I do have a video coming out very soon with just my, you know, critique on it, my own amplifier dyno with my efficiency results. But it's been out there. This amplifier was actually the leading seller in 2022 for most sold amplifier in the world. I want to find that article. I know I've seen it. I just need to go into, you know, the history books of Google.com and find that exact one and kind of go from there. But and then we got the Kicker Comp Q. And what I'm trying to go over this for is we have the Dual 2, and we're going to run it at 1 ohm. This amplifier here is 1 ohm stable. So if you're going to run one subwoofer, I would advise to run the Dual 2. And if you're going to run two of them, grab the Dual 4s so that you could wire it one. And that's what's cool about Kicker, you know, starting to make all their amplifiers 1 ohm stable, any load. Now this one is technically not the any load. The CX 1200.1 and 1800.1, excuse me, are considered the any load. So this amplifier doesn't do the same amount of power at 1 ohm versus 2 ohm. It does a little bit less, but it's a budget. It's a $200 or $300 amplifier, and it's easy to remember the CX amplifier prices. It's literally $200, $300, $400, $500. For the $400, 800, 1200, and 1800. So that's pretty cool. All right, so what we're going to do is the amp dyno, and why I'm going to do 1 ohm is because, you know, everyone's like, I got an 800 watt amp. I want all 800 watts out of it. And they're going to assume that we're going to see these numbers, what you see on the amp dynos, what you see on the box. So let's just verify that. You know, we got 53 guys in here. Appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see here. Thank you for tuning in, Simon Stately. Appreciate you, sir. I need to get back to you on Facebook, man. I've been trying to catch up. There's Bubba. Thank you for tuning in, Bubba. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate all you guys, man. And tonight's going to be fun. Let me know how the mic sounds. If it's too hot, I've been doing some tweaking for an hour and a half last night. Just trying to get it a little bit better. Jacket off official. DIY has never had a system over a few thousand watts. If that, big power. You know what? Whenever you're doing a YouTuber, it's hard to do everything. I will tell you that because just me being me, it's hard to put out short form video. Not shorts, but that's kind of easy. But, you know, regular videos like amp dynos and stuff. So it's really hard to do everything. And he himself and a lot of other YouTubers are putting out a lot of content. It's hard to put out a lot of content and then also have a build. Let me tell you, it's like juggling, man. You're going to drop a ball somewhere. Thank you, Jamie Barrett, for subscribing. That is awesome. Appreciate you, man. And thank you guys for being here. Finally, okay, that's that remote. Okay, cool. Finally got off. Awesome. Thank you, Ryan Wilson. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. No, it's all good, El Fuego. We understand, and I'm glad that you're here tonight with us, like everybody else that's hanging out. Appreciate that you're here with us, man. And again, thank you for all that you do. Mike sounds good. Awesome. I've been doing a little bit of tweaking on this. The other one just, it sounded a little too harsh. Gain was a little too high. Normal stuff. Let's get to it. Now, I'm going to turn on my wireless bass knob, NGA. Thank you, Will. This thing is awesome. And the other one I actually got, it shows temperature and all that other fun stuff. But this one, I just need it plain Jane for just what we're doing tonight. Let's fire this thing up, turn on the ducky, and get this show rolling here. I'm actually going to move this chair because it's just kind of getting in the way here. And let's see, we were on 1 there. There we go. See my head a little better. I'm going to move this camera some eventually in the future, but one step at a time. What we're going to do is pull up the test tones here because we're going to do the amp dyno portion first. So we need the file section. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to crank this up because Adam from SPL Amp Dynos sent me a ton of files that just automatically ramp up. And, you know, it's just a lot easier on, you know, doing a dyno. It counts it up nice and smooth because you might crack it too hard on the throttle and it might not exactly read out 100%. And, you know, it's perfect. So thank you, Adam. Appreciate you, man. Keckles Audier. Thank you for tuning in. Fee Mobile Solutions. I always say solutions. Why do I do it? It's either Fee, Fi Phone, Mobile Sound Solutions. Man, you might as well just go with it. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, man. All right, cool. So we got that going. And then I want to make sure that we are at 1 ohm. So I'm going to hit the switches up here. This is very caveman of an amp dyno. I've seen some very, very nice ones, but I kind of did a makeshift out of DC switches, and it does good for up to like 15 amps, give or take. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can actually see the giveaway, so don't forget to enter. The ducky will be mad if you don't. And we're going to do the 1 ohm test. Thank you for being here, Robert Johnson. Cool. So, just making sure the AC clamp is hooked up to that. And we got the AC probes connect to that. We are on the dyno portion. We got the subwoofer unhooked. This amplifier is rated at 300 watts at 4 ohm, 600 watts at 2 ohm, 800 watts at 1 ohm. So I actually do have the birth sheet right here. And Kicker saying 892. Well, we'll see. And what I'm going to do is I could do a certified test. But honestly, if you're that guy that, you know, they got an 800 watt amplifier and you're going to be playing it down the street, a lot of people are clipping a little bit. That's why the uncertified test, you know, up to like 5-10% THD is the most realistic, you know, in that aspect. Not just the ohm load of each one, because we will get into that, and that's the point of this video. But certified to keep it 100% clean, man. I mean, it's kind of a joke. They say if you ain't clipping, you're tripping or whatever. But kind of, sort of, you know, it's like in a perfect world, sure. But sometimes, you know, the average person, they're going to be clipping just a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to do it too long because then things will start to melt. Let's do it. All right, so can we get the 800 watts? We're just going to do it up to like 10% THD, volume 27. And let's let her rip. Make sure that we're good here. We're on no hold. We need to put this on a hold. It's going to have this at max just because we're just going to do an uncertified run on this amplifier. Got 240 amps of power supply. See what we can get. And that's another video I'm going to do too. How much power are you actually getting? Okay. As you can see, our voltage is starting to drop even on a, you know, 1000-watt amplifier here. And we'll just cut it there. 8% THD, but I would say at least a 900 watts under that 5% THD. And that's where I kind of want to do a whole video on this because SPL lab testing versus an 81, that's a whole thing. But still, we got 963 watts, around 1 ohm, it's 1.2. My calculations aren't perfect, and that's another reason why I kind of give it some wiggle room here. But I would say that's an uncertified score, almost 1,000 watts, and we're at 1 ohm. And are you going to see that much power? You know, let's test. So we're at a 1 ohm resistive load. These do not move. They stay there. There is no speaker. Let's connect the speaker. So what I'm going to do is turn everything off just in case I do something stupid. And we're going to disconnect that. We're going to unhook these. And actually what we can do is just disconnect it entirely because we don't need that anymore. Just to be on the safe side. Excuse me. 31% THD in here. Something like that, Debbie. Oh, that's Kyle. Oh, I expected that from Debbie. Let's see. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Again, do not forget to enter the giveaway. Have your grandma enter it. She'll buy you some kicker. She will. I mean, my grandma would. I don't know about your grandma. All right, make sure we hook up the AC leads. This is how the leads right here measure the AC voltage. That's what you see on the left-hand side. And then the clamp clamps the current. And that's the 28.8. And instead of a DC, it's AC, it's alternating current. And then you divide it 2, and that's how you get your resistance. So let's get this thing going. Now, we could do test tones, but let's just do music. Because I don't know about you, I don't play test tones bumping down the street. Let's play some music, and then even then, we can try test tones if you want. Let's do it. So, we're going to close this out here. Thank you, Cody, for sending me some files. I will be sharing those Friday. If you guys got any photos you want to see on the live stream on Friday, send them to the first link in the section. It's right on my website, in the description. Upload. Send me some stuff, pictures, videos, you name it. We have Test SPL Labs versus 81. It's the same. Well, then I don't know. I got different results. But thank you for tuning in, Adam. What's Andy ever DYNO these OEM amps? No, I have not. I've not had any time to do that, but I still have them, and I'm taking good care of them, man. All right, cool. So, got that hooked up. That clamp's hooked up. And now what we're going to do, we did 960. We're going to say we did the rating. And I'm going to turn the hold function off so that this thing just shows us how much power we're seeing real time. Let's get a zoom in shot of the woofer. And I'm going to play. There's a few songs that you could pick from, you know, to just do some bass tracks and to test your system. But there's always two go-tos, you know, unless you got your DJ Rusticals or DJ Dirty Bass or, you know, you got your test tones on you. Spotify, YouTube, that's like, you know what you got, and it's like, all right, cool, let's do this. The song Put On and Wiz Khalifa, On My Level. Who said Wiz? Not you. God. All right, cool. Let's play it. We got this cranked, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ease into this. And another thing, too, is I might have to turn the volume up because we were doing with a negative whatever, but still, let's just see if we can even do that power on music. And that's what I love when people say it does it on music, you know, because there are ways, but let's talk about it. Let's do it. All right, let's turn that on. We got to turn the amplifier on. That would help, huh? That definitely would help. All right. Feel like everything's working. There we go. Now let me know if you can see that woofer flexing. Do we need a little bit more light here? There we go. And again, this is at 1 ohm. Looks like we're rising. Oh man, my voice is gonna get messed up on this. It's getting loud in here, guys. Okay, so we're getting about 200 watts. Let's turn it up. How about a little bit more here? Can we get any more power? There we go. We are shaking everything in the room. This is falling. Alright, so we're clipping a little bit there. We're only getting 300-400 watts out of music here. That is it. I need to turn the crossover down a little bit here. Need to turn the crossover down. Man, that is a lot of bass. And this SPL meter is just falling right into that port. Alright, we got the subwoofer moving. We got the subwoofer moving over here. I don't know which one's moving more, this one or that one. Thank you, Eric N. Just seen it. Thank you, sir, for the pennies.
I got pennies.
And what's crazy is, do you see how loud that is? I know microphones aren't the best with bass, but it's not taking a ton of power. And even when I was clipping, clipping the crap out of it there, let me turn this down some. Even when I was clipping the crap out of it, we still never got that 1,000 watts. And if you notice, we were rising anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 ohms. And so like 1 to 2 to 3 times X, well, 2 to 3. And music is all over the place. And that's kind of the concept here of that and RMS, where people are kind of trying to say, well, this subwoofer is this amount of RMS, it should be able to handle this for a continuous sine wave. Music's not like that technically. And then also you have speaker rise, impedance, difference all over the place. So whenever Kicker rates their drivers, now I don't know about the L7X, maybe, but still, that thing it's kind of designed to handle a ton of power. Anything else is designed so that when you put 1,000 watts clean onto it, and it's a 1,000 watt driver, it should, in theory, with crossover set and without mechanical failure coming into play, you should thermally be totally fine. And that's the idea of matching an amplifier with a subwoofer, and you're not gonna always get all that power out of the amplifier. Now, I know the guys in the back of the bus, the seniors are like, hey, what about if we wire it to the dirt? That's the thing. Then you can get more power out of it because your rise is just going to be lower because you're starting lower. And then that's where it comes into a problem if the amplifier can handle those moments where the music might drop below what it can handle. And it's not even just the resistance that's the problem. It's this number. It's the current. It's not the voltage. That's just how the amplifier sends the signal, speaker goes up, down, whatever. It's the amount of current. Kicker amplifiers, I don't tell people to do this, but they are built very strong. So if you get anywhere close to the max of that number, it's going to shut down and say, no, not today. You're done, Junior. You're done. That and on the KXA models, voltage and all that kind of fun stuff. But still, they're heavily beefed up. And honestly, with the CX1800, That one specifically isn't any load. It's really like a 2 ohm board, and you can wire down to 1, so it's going to do around the same power, and it's, you know, it's got some limitations on it. But this one is a 1 ohm board, and it does 800 at 1 and 600 at 2 and 300 at 4, and you can see we're rising like 2 to 4, and that's what you're going to see. So if you're ever looking at an amp dyno and you want to know how much power your woofer is actually getting, look at those numbers. 2 to 4 ohm if you're wiring it 1. That's going to be the ideal kind of range of power you're going to see, and that's kind of what we saw over here, 3 to 500 watts. And hey, I thought that was cool. I know I've been missing on the comments, but we got 60, 70 guys in here. I wanted to get right to it because I actually did this video almost 2 years ago as one of my first Kicking It with Andy's, and I'm like, come on, Andy, get to it. Just get to it. Get to it. And this was a cool demonstration. Appreciate you guys. Be careful cranking that up. Well, I didn't even break it in yet. I didn't even break it in. If you want to put a lot more power on it, you're going to want to be able to put a Sony Explode in that box. You know what? A Sony Explode probably could handle the power until it explodes. Thank you so much for being here, CAE. And that's the thing, you know, if you match an amplifier with the subwoofer, at least with the same companies, I know sometimes different companies are going to skew the results if it's underrated or overrated or kind of right on. And kicker amplifiers do a little bit overrated, you know, of what they claim. Headroom, voltage, you know, our voltage is perfect here. We're sticking around 14.4 and above. If you're running a CX800.1, your voltage might not be, because it's kind of perfect for a stock alternator, stock battery system, and it's efficient while doing so. And make sure you tune in a few days to a week for my complete you know, summary and amp dyno of this video of this amplifier. My goodness, I can't even talk. Okay, cool. Let's see. Andy, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Ryan Moore, appreciate you. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist. Now, I can do real fast test tones and see if we can even get there. Let's go, where's it at here? Multi-tone, there we go. Let me make sure that this is turned down. Yeah, we are all connected still. We're on there. Let's just do a hold of the max that we can get out of this thing. Yowzers, that is loud. All right, so what we're gonna do, sorry if my mic messes up here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play around with the frequencies here, and we're gonna see if, you know, which one's the loudest here, or it's not loudest, but the most amount of power. And that's kind of gonna give us an idea of what frequency to play so that we can get the most power out of this amplifier. And of course, when power is applied, that can change. All right, so it's looking like 34. I was gonna say 33, but we can do 34. And let's crank this thing. Let's see how much power we can get on a test tone. Okay, so we got 655 watts at 2.4 ohms, 3%. That's still like the uncertified rating of, you know, whatever. And it's a 600 watt. You know, you're getting those numbers of what you would on an amp dyno at that 2 ohm rating on a test tone. Now, if you play a different frequency, of course, it's going to be different. Now, if we just try playing, you know, maybe like, I don't know, 50 hertz. Let's just try 50 hertz and see the difference. See, now on that one, we only got 388 and we rose up to 5 starting at 1. And that's where the whole point with the music, you're never going to see all the power out of your amplifier because of music. It just changes. The resistive loads do not. Cool. I feel like I covered it all. And how much time we got left? Man, you guys still got 20 some minutes to enter the giveaway. I don't need to keep you here all night. Go right to the point, and let's head back over here. Shut everything down. We're good on this side. You did good. Kicker Comp Q. If you want to pick one of these up, man, they are just brand new with the blue stitching, forced air cooling, and 1,000 watts instead of 900. And man, that thing is awesome. I think it was either 800 or 900, but I know that the 15's even bigger. All right, Larry, what you think? It was all right. It was all right. I can't forget my water. Not gonna happen. Okie dokie. Cool. So I'm just gonna use this headset. It's a little bit easier. Mr. Duffy, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here, sir. Hope you're doing well, man. And you're awesome. You are awesome. Ryan says, I want some Kicker L7X18s. Man, I need one too. Bad. They're coming. They're on their way, man. They are on their way. We might as well do this last portion. Q&A. Got questions? Drop them down below. Bingo. Okay, question. Let's say I'm a newbie. That Kicker, you're using what amplifier? You match it with 2 of those. Okay, so what amplifier for 2 of the Kicker comp Qs? CX 1800.1. You know, I feel like the Warhorse is just way too much power. They don't have the KXA model lines back yet. And the CX 1800.1 is more than enough. And you can, like, how I was showing in the demonstration over there of just how you don't always just need, oh, I need all these watts for the speaker to do something and to be loud. And they were talking about that little bit last Tuesday on the Unmasked show. That, you know, it's just, you're limiting yourself, but you're also not just, you know, it's not going to be terrible. You know, it's still going to make bass and it's still going to sound good. And there's a little bit other things involved too, but, you know, you can get away with not just, you know, oh, I got to match the RMS. If you get pretty close, it's good enough. And that CX 1800.1, man, that thing does every bit of 1800 watts. I actually did an amp dyno on that, I would say about 7 months ago. One of my more popular videos, and it does well, and the editing's great, and I just, you know, I love doing the amp dynos. It's just hard to do everything. I lean more towards the live streams, the system, and family, you know, not so much the shorter content, but that's what this platform also does, is I actually get to answer your guys' questions on the spot hotline, and I think that is priceless. Thank you, play it and live it. Appreciate you, man. You're awesome. Let's see. Stuart, you made it. Good evening, Andy and Green Team. Appreciate you, man. All right, you know what? I'm switching. I'm going back. I got to do it. I'm doing it. I got to do it. Let me make sure I'm not doubling here. Okay, that is off. Good. Make sure it's still off. Cool. Let me hang this up over here because we won't need that for a little while here now. And now I gotta pick up my other headset here. And then we switch. Ain't nothing like the Cush NCs. You know, those Corsairs are nice, they're flexible, but it's just everything. Monitoring, the background music, the everything, the sound dampening. These are so much better. I need Kicker-specific studio live streaming ones. And I wanted to ask, but, you know, that's a lot. Brandon Kroom, interesting topic tonight, Andy. Thank you, Brandon. And I wanted to do something that, you know, it's a lot of people have questions about. And whenever you go into something, any kind of hobby, you know, you don't know these things. It happens. You know, I went to Best Buy and I got the Kenwood 9104D and it said 1800 watts, you know, the best amplifier, and 500 RMS. And I didn't even bat twice at the 500 RMS at 4M. And I just looked at that 1800 watts and I thought, yeah, I'm sure at some point when it's all the way up, I'm getting all that, you know, and a lot of people think that too. And even with like computers and whatever hobby you're in, you're not a rocket scientist as soon as you get in. And I wanted to cover a 101 car audio just thing because a lot of people just don't know, and it's out there, and just have fun and do some subwoofer flexing and do a little bit of an amp dyno hybrid. It was kind of fun. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you, man. Again, thank you, Stuart. I'm going to go back. I'm going to see if I missed any comments because I know I missed a lot. Ray Sylvia, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Trap PZ, thank you for being here as well, sir. Jonah772, thank you for tuning in again. Appreciate you. I still have a Kicker Comp C sitting in the corner waiting for the right project and right build, thinking of a little something in my daughter's ride. You know, Comp Cs are great woofers, and they're kind of like, you know, the do-it-all kind of thing, low power. So it would be good for power wheels. When you're talking power wheels, you don't have an alternator, so it might be kind of perfect for that, between that and the regular Comp or something equivalent. And, hey, I can't wait to hear about it, man. Thanks for tuning in, Chris. Let's see. Zero Rise. Zero Box Rise. I mean, it's a thing, is it? Is it a thing? I mean, it might be, you know? Box Rise. You know? Here we go. Here we go. El Fuego, my previous series, Comp Q15, is blowing the doors off my 4Runner on 1,000 watts in a custom box built by Cornut. And, you know, Cornut, man, he cut some good boxes. He installed some awesome systems. And I love that you guys did the little collab in person and got to do all that. And he did that for you. Cornut is an awesome guy. I finally did just ship off that JP40 of his. And that was an awesome video. And if it wouldn't be for him, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And I'm getting there on the battery test. I got a few more to go. But it's just kind of the holidays and getting everything going. And, you know, things happen. Things happen. We're getting there. Doesn't the frequency affect the amp output? It should not. The only time it should affect the output is if there's a crossover. Say you have a high-pass crossover set on that amplifier, and it's going to obviously, at around that frequency, start to pull things at a negative 12 dB slope and onward as you go up the octaves. And I feel like, you know, that mono amplifier, you know, it should be able to do anything from 0 to 100 with any kind of difference of power with anything, just like resistive load amp dyno test. Why you see different numbers when we did with the subwoofer, that has to do with the enclosure. So the amp itself on just an amp dyno doing different frequencies with a good amplifier, like a Kicker, it should be relatively within a few watts across the whole thing. You know, it should be like the difference between my voltage dropped more because that's why the wattage was different rather than the amplifier having issues. When you see that, it's because the amplifier is not built good enough for what you're trying to make it do, and or, you know, just not a great amplifier. And a lot of times you see that with the pizza box brands, okay? And they will drop off significantly around 30 to 40 hertz. Anything below wasted information, you have to actually turn it up louder, and there's no crossovers on whatsoever. And that's where it's just the power supply section isn't built as good to do that amount of power at the lower frequencies with the longer wave and how that stuff works with just amplifiers. And I feel like, you know, if you ever go down to Kicker HQ, just talk to the guys. They know about that stuff. I feel like I could hang out in the amp dyno section for like a week and still not even get bored. And, you know, just everything else that there is to see there. But, of course, you can always call Kicker Tech Support. They will walk you through some stuff. Who knows? I don't know what else they would do on the phone because that's kind of in-depth. But still, they will answer that probably better than I will. But thank you for tuning in, V5 Mobile Sound Solutions. Appreciate you, sir. All right, cool. Just curious, who has a better system? No, he didn't. I was waiting for it. I mean, I know Donald Trump would be banging the Mac Miller. You know, that's my guess on it. That's the only thing I know. Ashy, there he is. Thank you for tuning in, Ashy. Appreciate you, sir. And, man, you guys are awesome. And, oh, yeah, that's a lead. 77 and 90. Okay, cool. That's cool. Had to take a look at it since we were talking about it. I just had to take a look at it. Just look at it. That's all. Glenn, thank you for being here. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging out in Facebook land, too. Yeah, Adam here. I need to get one off him. It's just chang. It's an awesome amp dyno with the SPL lab, but it's all automatic, all resistors built in. Makes mine look like a caveman put it together. but that is awesome stuff that he is doing and working on. All right, let's see. Kush NCs are dope. They really are, and I can't wait for them to come back with something like that because they have the Tabors. You know, the Tabors sound good, but if you have a pair of Kush NCs, then they don't sound good. You know what I mean? It's like they are that much better, but the Tabors are half the price, so there is that. And, you know, just like anything, you get what you pay for, and can't wait for them to bring that back if they do. Kyle, one 15 L7X instead of one long port. How about two shorter ports, same frequency? At the end of the day, it's going to be kind of the same thing, as long as you can get the airspace values the same. The length kind of could be a factor with, you know, other factors as well, with how much box you're taking up and just the, I would say, material displacement, because you're going to have maybe twice the amount of PVC in there or twice the amount of wood taking up because you're doing two different ports rather than one. I didn't mean to press that. One, or where should I say three? You get what I'm saying, sides of the box, so you're not using as much. But when you get down to things with how port velocity works and how airflow goes through an enclosure, how it goes back, forth kind of deal thing, and then you have multiple things. It's like running multiple woofers. They're, you know, not exactly going to be playing 100% the same. You know, it's just going to be, there's going to be a little bit of tolerance differences because of how the woofer is moving, how it's, you know, your box is leaking, or just, you know, factors of flexing a little bit. So it's not always going to be perfect. So same thing can be with the ports when you have that. That's the in-depth answer. The easy answer is it should be the same. In most cases, you might not even be able to hear a difference. That is that. So if you want to run two ports, I would say this, put them together rather than one side and the other. But, you know, if you want maybe other factors to help with boundary loading in your vehicle, then maybe you might want to split them up. But again, just make sure everything is, you know, done right and the air spec is around the same and the tuning is. Because I feel like you might run into that problem of getting it exact. Running two different ports, you know, just more factors, more areas for fault. Thank you, Kyle. CAE question, regulated power amps, high current amps, how do these affect power output during impedance rise? Now, that's the thing. Okay, that's kind of a loaded question because there are amplifiers that are regulated power supplies. And I know Kicker, Kip, Aaron, John have all talked about it with just how the power regulated amplifiers will still make power at 12 volts. And then it pulls more current to do so. So that is on the input side of things, not the output side. Now, the output side of things would be how do these affect power output during, impedance rise, what we just showed today with how the subwoofer, you know, the wattage is all over the place, the resistance is all over the place, the rise, the ohms that we've seen on the screen there, how that all changes. So I know a lot of people get the misconception of it fights box rise, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. What it is the amplifier is just regulated on the output section to only do so much power below a certain impedance. So it'll do, we'll say 3K at 2 ohms, and then it's going to do 3K at 1 ohm. And that's going to be the ones that, you know, kind of affect power due to rise. Not so much the power regulated amplifiers like the KXA 2400. I heard it was loosely regulated, and I feel like it, you know, it just has a lot of DSP like tech into it, not even the output section, but the power supply section, because I know that amplifier is awesome where if I do wire it into the dirt and I play a little bit too high of a frequency and it wants to shut off, instead of shutting off, it rails down the power, says no, too much. And that is where it's kind of adjusting the output section. I don't know if that is exactly that, because it's not really fighting that so much. It's just kind of limiting it so that you do not blow up the amplifier. Again, if anything is going to limit it, that is why, because the current is going to burn through all the traces of the amplifier, make your amplifier go poof, smoke, you know? And that's where, you know, it is cool to have amplifiers that do that, but at the end of the day, just run a bigger amp, run more amplifiers. You don't have to strain your amplifier, you know, yeah, to get all the power out of it, but just run more. That's the thing. And when you run, you know, more amplifiers, say twice the amplifiers instead of one that's in the dirt or even at 1 ohm, and you run 2 of them at 2 ohm, they're going to run a little bit more efficiently, each one, and you're still going to be able to create the same amount of power, respectfully. You know, and it's just, it's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah, it might cost more money, but it's going to save you in the long run, and you won't have to worry about any of that stuff. Thank you, CAE, and they do. They absolutely do. Power is so cheap now, and batteries are so cheap now, so I can see why people look over it. All right, cool. Stu, I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for tuning in tonight, buddy. Man, we had almost 60 people here the entire show. You guys are awesome. And I guess I could start doing the giveaway stuff. There's no need to hold you up. I mean, we got more questions, but Luna, is there any dB meters beside SPL Lab that does over 130 dB? Now, of course, there's a few. We got the SPL Lab, you got the SSA Lab, you got the Term Lab, and then there is, I know I'm forgetting one. I would say the SSA Lab. The SSA meter is a pretty cool one. It's got wireless as well. And so does SPL Lab. That's just like the old school King Kahuna. They have wireless ones, and SSA has them. I don't know if Term Lab has wireless ones, but Term Lab's, you know, kind of been around forever. So there is that. But either way, yeah, those three are like the main ones that you want to use, just because the microphone is built to measure over 130 dB. Thank you, Luna. Appreciate you for tuning in. Bubba, I know Bubba was here. We got to play it. Boom goes Bubba. And yes, you've been gone for too long, Stu. Way too long, man. I can tell. I can tell. It's okay. Still love you, buddy. Shoop Dog question. What's the difference between Comp R versus Comp Q? Okay. Need a sip of water for that one. Comp Q, top tier SQ, and the Comp R is your middle of the road, everyday price as well on the kicker spectrum of subwoofers. So you're gonna get good results, but you're gonna get a little bit more power handling than the entry comp. It's right dead in the middle. You know, it's kind of like the bed of, you know, what story was that? You're looking for the best bed, the best porridge. I don't know why I can't remember the name. You gotta love being live. Your brain farts. But the best type, you know, it's not too firm, it's not too soft, and it gives you that, you know, just good sound and good price, and it doesn't need a ton of power. The Comp Q, it does need a little bit more power, but it also will give you a different signature sound with its appropriate enclosure. And I feel like, you know, you can make a Kicker Comp R12 louder than a Comp Q, you know, in some aspects. But is that going to sound the best, you know? And that's when you start stretching things one way or another. Stretching towards SPL, stretching towards SQ. And it's always trying to come into the middle, but not be entirely in the middle, but kind of one side or the other. You know, you kind of got to pick your lane, but don't veer too much. And then you'll have a very well-rounding system, and I feel like that's what everybody's striving to have. Thank you, Shoot Dog! Would you look at that? SPL Lab Wi-Fi. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's got a little bit heavier of a driver, lower FS. I can't wait to actually put that in the car. Because, like, you know, just with that setup, it sounds really nice in that small enclosure that's meant for a kicker comp. And it's just, it sounds good. And of course I can hear some chuffing when I'm putting a ton of power to it, because the port's not quite big enough, but it's not too far off, but it's a little bit too small. But, you know, still, just to try it. And you don't need to put all that ton of power. So when you have a different enclosure, it might be better to have less power, because you could run into those problems that I just listed. But again, you know, you might be sacrificing output or sound quality. But, you know, it does kind of do everything. Every kicker really does. Farther you go up on a tier, like I said, farther away towards SQ or SPL, kicker is like you got your average, and then you go more towards SQ, and then you got the L7X. It's kind of more towards SPL, but it's not way over here like some SPL drivers are, because it's not. It's kind of a do-it-all, big bass, lots of extension, efficient subwoofer driver, and that's what people want nowadays. Just saying. And the price tag, yeah, it's expensive, but guess what? You blow it, you just drop in another one. And that is hours of your just life back in your hand, and you can go watch some more YouTube channels. Thank you, Shoop Dog. Appreciate you, man. And it's okay, you know, at least you came back. At least you came back, Stu. Okay, cool. Let's do the giveaway stuff here. All right. Ooh. No way. Okay. That's cool. Not gonna try the 3000 tonight. Bad juju. Bad juju. All right. Let's crank up the background music just a little bit here so that there's something going on in the background. You know, he said it. They said it, not me. They said it, not me. Let's see. Okay, cool. Bingo. Bango. Ooh, okay. Wow, this guy. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Ooh. Good. Uh-huh. I'm gonna try, man. I know they got a lot of Rigomatic machines tonight, like on watch. So, like, I gotta be careful. You know, gotta be careful. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. That's a good one. Yep. Yep. Rig. Yep. Said it. Bingo, bango, bongo. Ribbed, not rigged. That's how you get past the checkers, you know? All right, cool. Now I just need to type these names in. Appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. Again, make sure you go check out Kicker for doing this for us tonight and what they do for you guys all the time. You know, I know they're a company, but man, do they give back. And they have been giving back, and they just are awesome. So make sure you go check out their YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, just newsletter, whole nine. And if you enter tonight's contest, you automatically sign up for the newsletter. And appreciate all the guys that do the stuff behind the scenes that you don't hear about. Okay, let's type these in here. Good. Okay. That one was easy. Let's do, okay. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom. Okay. Oh. Oh, there we go. Making sure that's not on there. I was like, oh no, is it already on there? Look on up. Okay, we got that one. 2 more to go. Okay. Oh, that's not how you spell it. You keep your spelling fresh by doing this. Okie dokie. 1 more to go. Okay, we'll do that. That is... I love how it puts USA, like, I mean, you know, I guess they could do worldly giveaways on this thing, but it just says USA. Hey, you never know. It could be coming from anywhere. Jason, question for those using the CXA amps. Has it 25 hertz subsonic filter ever been an issue? I like my lows, just wondering about that. You know, yeah, and I feel like what you can do to kind of get around that, and I found myself kind of doing it in a way, is just turning the gain up a little bit higher. You know, like you could set it at around there, like, you know, play 25 hertz, set your gain, And of course, as you go up, it's going to start to clip, so you can add other high pass filters, because that's a low pass. You can add high pass filters to kind of compensate for that. But I feel like, this amplifier model is for the main majority of kicker customers. There's a lot of them. They're not just watching the show. They're going out to Best Buy. They're going out to their local stereo shop, and they're like, I want some sound woofers. I want some subwoofers in my car. Let me turn this down. Some subwoofers in my car. I want the whole system. And that's what they get, So you can use it for those things. I've done it. But again, you might have to turn it up a little bit, right? Because it is set. There is no switch on that one. On the KXA and Warhorse, obviously, you can turn it on and off. And I find myself turning it off all the time because I don't worry about mechanical limit because I'm me. And, but other people might not, and they play some music that's really wasted information and it's loud as it can be, and that speaker just goes ugga dugga 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 and it just stays up, and you jump the gap, which is kind of hard with kickers, but other subwoofers it's a little bit easier, and it can happen. Put enough power to anything, it's going to do it. And that's why that's kind of there, and it's kind of like a make sure that nothing happens kind of thing. There are ways around it, but yeah, I know it's kind of a thing. I mean, that's the great thing about the Unmasked show, about doing this, about what Kicker does on the social media side of things. They listen. So, enough of you guys say, hey man, I would love a switchable 25 hertz subsonic filter on the CXA models. And I'm sure eventually they might do it if it makes sense, because it's like, well, we have to put in some extra parts. Can we do this without making the customer pay more for this amplifier? Because at the end of the day, you guys are used to seeing these amplifiers at certain prices, other than inflation. You're used to seeing what it is. You don't want to go in the store the next day and it's $50 more everywhere, and it never goes down because they added a little switch for 1% of the people that are buying it. So you got to have that in mind, and that's what's great about the Warhorse line of products and everything else that they do. But thank you, Jason. I appreciate your comments, and this guy's always thinking outside the box. Let's see. I already got the winners towed up, so make sure you guys stick around to hear your name called. Stuart question. So I'm really confused on fusing my power wire and fusing my amp. I was told to use 300 amp fuses for my 1/aught gauge runs, then put 175 amp fuses to amp. I can't find 175 amp fuses. What I try to tell people is fuse for your alternator. If you're talking about the front of your car, fuse a little bit above what the alternator can do, because that's all it's going to be able to supply. And then after that, from your front battery to the rear of the car, that's the main fuse that everybody thinks about, because that's where you're going to have most of the current draw from your amplifier. It's not a terrible thing to have a little bit more current capability of your fuse. I tell people, when you're talking bigger systems, fuse for a short. Case you drop that power wire and it goes right to the negative of a battery. You don't want that thing to start welding together, because it will. And you want that fuse to go, oh, whoa, poop, pop. But when you're talking about an everyday system, it's nice to have that there as well, around what the amplifier can do. But again, you might actually be pulling more than that, because your voltage is dropping, and there's more current coming through because the amplifier is trying to make power and efficiency losses. So I would say, if you want to do 175 amp fuse, just run a 250. You should be totally fine with it. You know what you're doing, Stuart. Fuses are friends, and they come in handy when you need them. But just having a little bit over isn't going to be the end of the game, as long as you have the correct size power wire going front to back, or whatever distance that is. That is the main thing. And what happens is, if you don't, that fuse will actually blow earlier, because there's more resistance in the line, meaning more current for the same amount of power. But thank you, Stuart. Appreciate you, man. And you don't need the 300 amps. If you want 100, wait, what does it say? Then put 175 fuses to amp. Let me just read it. Let me double check. I was told to use 300 amp fuses for 1/aught runs. Right. I mean, I would, again, fuse for what you got. If you got a 300 amp alternator, then maybe put a 350 amp fuse on the front there to the front battery. For 1/aught runs, then put 175 fuses to amp. I can't find 175 amp. Just fuse for what that amplifier will draw. And that's kind of the thing where you might not know. Kicker does list it sometimes, and other places do, and maybe not. Think about it like this. Any amplifier is not 100% efficient. So if you got a 2000 watt amplifier, we'll say for those 175 amp fuses, that's probably close to what you're going to be at that 175 amp. But again, it's probably going to be pulling 2400 watts to do the 2000. But like how we tested tonight, you might not even do that. So you might be okay. That's the thing. You know, unless you're really stressing that amplifier, pulling it all, you're not going to see that maybe on for a split second. And that's what's nice, to have a little bit of headroom on the fuses and buy quality fuses. I can't stress that enough. I did a video not that long ago with, 8 gauge and capacitors and stuff like that. And I bought a ton of these 30 amp fuses thinking they would be just as good as the ones that I bought from Walmart. That was like $5 for 3. This was like 10 for 10. No, they literally handle like 30 amps, and then poof, they just go. As soon as it hit there, it would just go. And then the other 30 amps, they'd take 40 amps, 45 amps, get hot, hotter, blow. And that's the thing. Not all fuses are created equal, so make sure you spend some money on the fuses. Never cheap out. Thank you, Stuart. All right, cool. Let's do it. Bubba, he gives great lip service. Oh, my goodness. What am I missing here? Good looking out, Bobby. Bobby works nights now. No way. What? I'm Team Fuse. I'm Team Fuse in a lot of cases, but not every case. Stuart, the fuse by the battery protects the wire. A 300 amp fuse is good for a long 1-aught run. If your amp doesn't have a fuse built in, just add the recommended fuse to protect that amp. Right. Because it's like you want to make sure, like, if the amp has a problem, you don't want current going from your front of your car all the way through your car and just dead shorting somewhere, because you could create a dead short with a blown amplifier, and then just too much current. It's like, hey man, you're overdoing it for this wire. It's kind of like, hey, you're doing something wrong, or in case of an emergency. That's where it comes in clutch for that. Let's see. Okay, cool. Let's do the winners. All right, third place. This is the EB400's Kicker Unmasked t-shirt. Kicker koozies, lanyard, you guys already know. Third place goes to... Let's see, why am I doing that? What are you doing, Andy? Man, I sound like Ernie. What are you doing, Andy? Third place goes to Jason M. from Dallas, Texas. Congratulations. Oh, those are the TW1s. I don't know why I said that. TW1s, and is it TW2s or EB400s? So TW1s, those are awesome headphones, wireless earbuds. Congratulations, bud. And thank you for watching Kicking It with Andy. Second place, I think this is I think it's the EB400s. I don't know. We're going to go with that Kicker Swag Pack. Congratulations to Christopher M. Yeah, it's the 400s in Phoenix, Arizona. Congratulations. And EB400s are awesome. And the whole Kicker Swag Pack t-shirt. I mean, come on, guys. And it is a little bit CAE, just a little bit. Congratulations, guys. We got 2 more prizes. We got the first place Kicker prize. And then we got the first place Livin Loud with Andy, Kicking It with Andy. Special 50% off discount code to still give away. Thank you guys so much that are still here for watching. Love you guys, and let's do it. First place is the Bullfrog 100. Awesome Bluetooth speaker. I love it. I would have more, but gotta watch the budget, and we already got one. We got the 400. We got Amphitheater stacked, but they make some awesome Bluetooth devices. First place for that, for the Bullfrog and Kicker Swag Pack, goes to Lee H. from Plymouth, Wisconsin. Congratulations, Lee. Thank you for watching. You're going to love that Bullfrog. Now, attention, don't go. The ones that are watching right now for tonight's show, the winners for those 3 prizes, it's going to be delayed by a week. Per Sandy and Ernie, a.k.a. employees at Kicker, they are down at SEMA right this week, so they're going to be behind by a week. And maybe if you won last week, you might be a little bit behind on that as well. So be patient with Kicker. Just keep looking in the email section. should be there, and if not, they will get you taken care of. Thank you so much, Lee. And we got one more prize. I know a lot of guys were like, they didn't even know this was a thing. It's like, man, we've been doing this for like a year. And thank you, Kicker, for doing this special 50% off discount code for anybody that jumps over from Kicker Unmasked to watch the Kickin' with Andy show every other Tuesday. Thank you, Steve Irby, and the whole everybody. Thank you for just doing that. That is so cool and so special. 50% off discount code. Yeah, it's a little rigged. Goes to, I'm going to wait till it shows it. Goes to Ashy Larry. Not this Larry, but Ashy Larry. Congratulations, man. You get the 50% off discount code. I will be sending you email sometime during the week here. And yeah, it's a little bit, but it's okay. It's a Tuesday, and what better day? You're going to love that 50% off discount code. I know Ashley's going to be like, man, all right, I bought everything from Kicker in their museum. Now I need to buy everything that's in their warehouse. It's going to be crazy. Congratulations. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, John. Oh, man. Thank you, T. Corley. I appreciate that you're here tonight. And everybody, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Shoot Dog, CAE. It is just a little bit. Thank you, Lee. Oh, look, there he is. Congratulations. I think that's the Lee that won tonight. Congratulations. And yeah, it's okay. It's okay. There's always next week, so make sure you guys tune in to Kicker Unmasked. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? All right, I'm going to say it's rigged. Love you guys. Thank you for watching tonight's show, and have an excellent Tuesday. May whoever wins tonight and try to get some rest and relaxation. I will see you guys Friday, and do not forget to tune in to Kicker Tuesday. I'm sure they're going to be talking about SEMA. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think this was fun. I don't know about you. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay living loud. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Oh, the speaker's going. It's going. It's flexing.
Kickin' with Andy, right?
Thank you, CAE.
We living loud.
Would you look at that?
That wasn't me, Kyle. Congratulations, Ashy, and you know, it's cool to see the people that tune in all the time actually win, and some people that just tune in for the first time win. That is the gamble, rigged or not. Thank you so so much. Thank you guys for watching.
Livin Loud with Andy.
Thank you, Cracker. Appreciate you guys. And oh, I got something in the mail. Cornholio donated $4. Would you look at that? Cornut coming in, keeping the kicker kicking. Love you guys. And man, tonight was awesome. Thank you so much, Cornholio, not Cornut. And thank you for watching. And I will see everybody Friday. No after party tonight. That's Fridays. Fridays after the live. Love you. Stay living loud. And we dance. Oh, John stole it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, John? No. Oh.